of course, they'll have to be very cautious about how the Hayabusa is going to fare in the early stages of the game. So, TNC looking for front. The Hilda's gone, the Yujon's gone. The Gatot's taken by Aurora. The Grok.
That one too.
The Grok's actually still there for Chaknu. I think he's been comfortable with it.
Yeah, I agree. There are certain, moments where Chaknu really performs in spite of the Gatot Kacha being absent. In this case, it's Aurora taking it for themselves.
Yeah.
But there you go. Rock being picked up by Chaknu. That's a setup hero mixed with Benny Cutie's, last insanity is really going to be detrimental to their success. But for Aurora, you have 2 prime picks here. That's the Granger. Quite safe for Dominkai.
Yeah, and somehow also supplies like heavy damage, burst damage.
So this means the CC will go to the EXP.
Yeah. EXP, CC, gold lane, Ranger, Yue. How does Yue?
Bree, that's a benefit of having the CC as your first pick because the X-Borg doesn't go so well with the Granger just because of the range advantage. But the Kimi is being added now by Yue to wrap up Aurora's draft.
Okay, 3-Mar TZ. We're looking for a hero for 3-Mar.
Or for Benny.
Or
not
for
even sure,
Benny.
dude.
Yeah, that's true. The Lapu's still there, although I don't think it'll have a great time. The glue might be a consideration for TNC. It can't just keep trying to tag the damage and standing in front.
Yeah, it's an annoying hero.
Or what are the other annoying heroes out there, honestly? Like the Uranus?
Uranus, yeah. I think the Uranus would be decent.
Oh, they're going for Lapu still.
They're going for damage. They're going for 3-Mar picking it up. But hey, you saw the switch, Bree. You saw the switch. You had to tap. And you're looking at it right now. 3-Mar going EXP X-Borg. The X in XP stands for X-Borg power.
Can we say that this is one of their takeaways from their series against Twisted Minds yesterday? Or last night, to be exact.
Yep.
Because Nosha did play the Lapu Gold.
It was a surprise.
It was a surprise for us. But now it's Benny Cutie doing it. Unbelievable. TNC just keeps surprising us now that they're in the playoffs.
They keep throwing curveballs. Coach Eto Max putting the venom towards the fire of the Phoenix. Will it be enough to take another game from Aurora? Naisu and Leo, go ahead and get him.
Man, I gotta say, Benny must be... He's on something today, man, Leo. He wants to prove a point. He did it with the Cho previously, and now he's saying, hey, I know you guys saw a gold lane Lapu Lapu yesterday. Probably didn't work out too well, but I will make it work here.
Welcome
I'd like to try,
MOBA
Hans, but I
Legends.
can't get it right now because this gold lane revolution has gotten out of hand. What can Benny Cutie not do is the question.
It's a different kind of storm, man. It's different kind of weather.
TNC are changing the game, but looking at Aurora, I miss drafts like this. This is actually comprehensible. Lancey catches a good amount of US basic attacks.
Oh,
Smart enough to stay underneath this tier 1 in mid. Extra damage reduction. Help us buy time to understand the early game.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at this, the early game, the pacing they go with here too, because like we're talking about Benny Cutie's Lapu, but also the X-Borg, a debut for 3-Mar, by the way. So this might just be a good pick to go ahead and deal with the CC, but also you do get some of that utility later on where you can play that front guy if you need to. You have that Braga armor to help you out, and then the threat of a last insanity does play a big part against this kind of lineup that Aurora brought to this table. It might be enough even with a true damage aspect there to threaten them enough.
Whoa! See light there, overshooting the charge. 3-Mar's not having any of it. I think that's another pro you get when you bring an X-Borg in is the extra life you get, or I don't want to call it extra life exactly, but you have layers of health that changes the way fights happen.
Yeah.
That heroes like Granger, heroes like Kimi and CC, even Hayabusa, you have to reconsider your approach to team fighting.
It's weird in a way because it almost reminds me of like Exborg almost reminds me of a little mini immortality in a way, you know what I mean? So it's like, that concept does ruin the flow of team fights.
Oh
Whoa.
my God!
Brilliance?
Forcing a brilliance out of Lancy. This is all in time for TNC to help secure this turtle. Zaida bounce shotgun out. Retribution, Lights in trouble, revitalize. Pop in that Firaga armor as the Gatot falls. Turtle in first blood for the Phoenix Army.
Even with the revitalize, man, it wasn't enough for Light to survive. And I feel like now, this is one of the things for Light. He's going to have to be able to do what he needs to do on the Ganakacha.
You called that Firaga armor like a little baby immortality, right?
Yes, a little baby mortality.
Looked like a little baby winner crowned of me. Because that's what happened, right? Like he died, but he didn't.
That's
and then
true.
he came back, dealt a little extra damage, true damage at that to Light. And then Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, man. I mean, at that point, when you approach these fights for Aurora, it's like, okay, I want to get this guy down, but you can't. 3mar has that extra kind of durability to this. Not to mention, he can tank up a lot. Whoa!
Oh my God,
Whoa.
the flicker and the tech charge. Call it a Phoenix Flash. As Light, AOG's on out of there. Too late though, as Dominkai falls, the repositioned. Firaga armor blast, the last insanity. Demon Kite falls. He obliged him. He gave him the shadow kill. Oh my Lord.
That was a Mamba move if I've ever seen one, man. What a tech charge from Chaknu to start things up. It looked like Aurora wanted that fight, and TNT was like, come on, we'll give it to you.
When Chaknu was playing for Smart Omega, that was one of the main strengths they had, was fights can come out of nowhere.
Yep.
And they can win off the flick of a dime. Now he brought that kind of lethality, the rattlesnake mentality to TNC. And I'm gonna keep calling it that. It's a Phoenix Flash. Like, you never see it coming. Just
Yeah, it is a Phoenix Flash. I mean, what do you do against that? Again,
you can't see it coming.
you can't see the Mamba coming, man, because this is, I don't know, I think for a lot of people, it's a debate. Well, I guess people would lean towards Kufra being his hero, but like Grok is close to that. You know, and when Chaknu gets his chance to play this Grok, he makes it work wonders. The second turtle of the game, he's zoning the rest of the team out, but they're going to go for it anyway. Zaida already secures the turtle, though. Uh-oh.
Light in the middle of 4. This is not a good look. Demon Kite rather, into the back line. Light tries to close off the exit for Lancy, and they catch Demon Kite. A tech charge pins him down, but Demon Kite gets a couple of stacks. Make that 3 stacks. Pop, pop, pop. Mike and 4. Demon Kite's a maniac. Aurora, clap back. They're on their feet once more.
The Phoenix Flash was meant by Dominkai and Aurora. The lights came through and they give him a maniac.
I voted that boy as my most improved player of season 16. He was almost a non-factor in the previous game, and here, single-handedly, he brought back Aurora from the dead. 1,000 gold lead for the Northern Lights.
And 4 stacks this early on, man. And off of that, he's already moving and grooving with rapid boots, and he gets a Hunter Strike too. We're gonna have to take a look at the replay for this one. Again, it was a fight started up after the second turtle was secured. Look at this. It's all chaotic. Again, they take out Demon Kite, but the whole time, look at the positioning on Demon Kite. He's like, you take my kite, brother, it's okay. I have the rest of the team, and I'll capitalize off of it.
He took that personally.
He did.
Oh, they're still going! The tech charge once more! And Benny shuts him down! Oh, Lord, the Phoenix Flash can come from any angle, from any member.
Leo.
And just like that, Aurora's celebration is ended. AOG stopping the forward momentum of TNC on Edward. Lancy with a brilliance. TNC back in the driver's seat.
Just as quick as we saw Dominkai get the maniac, get the stacks, TNC does something about it.
Back and forth, forth and back.
It's I don't know if it's going to go sideways or not, or for which team it's going to go sideways first, but right now, it's about as even as it can get. Now that third turtle's coming up here, Aurora's in a position to contest it. TNC has had a pretty good time getting the first 2, but now you're in a fighting position for Aurora. But I think they're still gonna have to figure out, how do we deal with this front line and this Phoenix Flash?
Chaknu, Seal out of that river brush. Sealed out.
Up.
Oh, that is a curtain call. Tech charge, no one home. Dominkai takes down the Mamba. Light, very low. Last insanity by 3mar. Down goes Yue. Edward backing off. Light's already taken down. Zaida gets one. Betty Cutie gets a double kill. 3 for 1 the trade. TNC on top. Another one falls. All 3 go to TNC.
It doesn't matter if Domikite's locked in, loaded on the Granger. If Aurora gets split up and dealt by the last Insanity, you saw how much true damage that did to their lineup.
Joseph,
Tell me.
you see that we are at the cusp of history.
Yes.
If some way, somehow, TNC go to match point, this would have been the most Aurora sweat in Season 16 after getting dunked on by Falcons in the opening week.
I think it's already starting to shake them a little bit here, man. TNC has found something out. I mean, they're playing better today than they did yesterday. I don't know what it was about yesterday's matchup, but they definitely brought it in this series. Again, this is the 5th seed versus the 1st seed, Aurora. The talk has been, can they stay as strong as they did in the regular season in the playoffs? Well, right now they're struggling to find some pace against TNC. They still have room to breathe. They still have a lot of ground to cover, though, as well. A Malefic Roar's picked up for Domikite. That might be able to help with some of this tanky front line, but even so, do you have the reflexes to deal with the fast setups that are happening here?
We're at the point where it's not about what the lead looks like, but what TNC could do with the moves that they're putting out on display. Sure, it's just a 2,000 gold lead for the Phoenix Army, but what they're capable of, what this lineup can do up against Aurora's very pre-Project Next draft is terrifying.
It is. And I don't know where that point, that switch here for Aurora is going to be, even leading in to the next objective, the Lord here. Because every time they've approached the objective pit, whether that's the Turtle or eventually the Lord, it hasn't gone their way, man. I mean, they haven't really found that out yet. How do we deal with a position that favors us? Are they in a position where it's like, we just have to let TNC control that and hopefully punish? But if you even get close enough, again, 3mar, this X-Borg pick was so good for this specific draft to work against what Aurora has.
The fundamentals of MOBA have changed right before our eyes. Teams are capable of so much tactical and revolutionary initiations because of the fighter gold lane. And Aurora are reeling because of how TNC have perfected this style of MOBB. They're dancing right now, but again, because of the propensity for TNC to unleash the Phoenix Flash, you could never tell if it really is just a dance or something else entirely.
And at any moment, the Mamba could decide to go and start the Phoenix Flash up here. That's why Demon Kai has to be careful. As a Hayabusa, if he's caught out, you're going to be pushed off any of this space that you're trying to fight for. So you have 3mar and Chakno leading the charge up here. 3mar.
Dangerous position for you to be in.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
That front.
Is he just relying on the Purify?
I guess. I mean, Purify into the gem pack should be enough for most, but we've seen Yue get caught already at least once in this game alone.
Yeah, but what they do is they keep TNC at bay for now. Again, trying to buy what they can. Yue is definitely, I'm surprised he's playing up so front. Trying to help Edward and Light here find a better time. The Brilliance is going to be popped too. They want to go for this mid turret. The pressure is cooking here. 3mar and Chaknu holding up that front side while you have Benny Cutie clear out the lane. They don't want that tier 1 to go down too. They hold on to it barely. Keep an eye on the Mamba. Keep an eye on Chaknu. He might be that one.
Whoa.
Start things up here. Bump's going to be secured.
Lord gets slow pushed out. Gets that reset. Demon Kai takes care of that bottom lane, secures himself a BOD. Lord at 1/10 of its health. This is as hard as it gets to dance with.
Oh.
That's a soft reset once more.
He's going to go for the soft reset. 3mar's going to keep it there, though, so still playing, threading the needle. That's going to be used. Mount Chakra Light. He takes some damage. He's still got the Athena shield, but it goes back to it.
Rampart compromises Light's positioning. Lord gonna get blasted here by TNC, but Aurora steal it. Demon Kite with a quad shadow plus a retribution. And AOG by Light closing off what could have been a Phoenix Flash. See, this is what's weird about TNC's approach. Aurora are guarding up, clogging up holes that weren't even really there.
Again, if it comes down to that, where you could just rely on Demon Kite to kind of come in, get the Lord from the noses of TNC, that was a build-up, a pressure into that Lord take, and Aurora capitalized on it. Now, what does this mean for them? It buys them some time. They're going to be able to get maybe a couple turrets off this. Again, yeah, I still think if they force a fight or Chakdu starts a fight, Aurora's still not in the best position just yet. But they might just try to get rid of Chakdu. If they can actually take out Chakdu or force him to defensively tech charge, then that might be a best case scenario for them.
I like the latter. The latter seems like the better choice. You don't want to put too much effort into trying to take down a really chunky Grok. Mid lane is going to fall, top lane is going to crack. Aurora are fighting the map instead of fighting TNC.
Okay, Light, top of the Revitalize. Might be forced to jump out as he does, so defensive AOG is there. Demon Kite, meanwhile, will take the purple from Zyna. They got the tier 1 in the mid, tier 2 up top. That's about the best that they could hope for. Maybe another tier 2 down bottom too. So right now, Aurora has brought this back in a minor control for their favor, slowly crawling back into this game.
Here's one weakness you have with a lineup that favors fighters, that favors actual engagements. Your map control isn't as pristine, isn't as good. You have to convert from actual team fight wins, and that is what TNC is waiting for, to find that next window of opportunity. When is the next big fight? So far, it's always been stare downs. It's always been weigh-ins. And Aurora are now using that advantage to get a 2,000 gold lead and own the map. It's all blue, Joseph, and that's why the other half of the arena has come alive. Suddenly, the blue side, the Aurora side, they're making some noise.
They're making noise. The Phoenix Army, though, too, they're still believing in what TNC can do here. Again, we haven't seen a massive full-on team fight just yet at this point in the game. You know, you're past that mark. Yeah, Aurora has a lead, but TNC, even so, they've got this lineup that can work for them. Zyna picks up a Malefic Roar now too. He's a big part of this physical damage. Then you have a lot of true damage profiled into this that Aurora is always going to have to respect. You can see it looking at the items too. They've built up, I mean, again, Dominkite is where he needs to be. He's even got a little bit of defensiveness now with the Wind of Nature. Over on the other side, they're just fighting for this purple control now too, but it will be TNC that secures that for Zyna.
Long lane is a bald lane, as TNC have to deal with this constantly forward pushing minion wave far away from where the Lord is. Lord is on the upper corner, and they have to send dudes there all the time.
Yep.
Bottom lane, okay, luckily Aurora don't have someone who can split push, not like a Moskov, not like a Ling or a Fanny.
Yep.
So if Aurora were to slowly pressure bottom lane too, it would be telegraphed. TNC would know.
They would. And right now, they're going to have no choice but to deal with that push down on cross map, but also face off this Lord. Demon Kai will go ahead, and he can't be there. Like, he can't sit there, so they might blitz this. Zyna's in position.
TNC! Secure the Lord! Last Insanity by 3 used defensively as they go ahead and back on out of here. They skedaddle. Benny Cutie, bravest fighter, just to make sure. TNC, that's a win for them.
They saw that Demon Kite took too many hits from that Lord. He was sitting about just above half health. He had the quad shadow on out, which then gave the angle for TNC to go in and secure it. Zyna knows, hey, I've got Chakdu, I've got 3 more, and Benny if I really need it, to give me that space to go ahead and secure this in. Whereas again, Demon Kite really didn't have that opportunity, even with Light over here on the Ganaconcha. So again, they've got to respect what TNC is capable of doing. Goodbye to any of the lead that they had.
That's what I'm saying. Again, TNC very good on fights. Even the threat of a fight will change the way Aurora respond. Benny Cutie forces Demon Kite out of that brush, and they answer back, cracking Chakno in half.
Oh, they
That's a kill for Doming. Oh, Benny Cutie might be up next. AOG! He gets caught out. Benny Cutie gets shut down by Yue. The 3 remaining members of TNC turn tail and get out of there.
It's a back and forth. My God, take out Chakdu, you lose a big portion of what has worked for TNC throughout this game. And Dominkite, he's tearing through that front line now. It's Aurora off of getting 2 kills. They'll go ahead and get towards these base turrets of TNC, trying to take it down.
Insanity by 3 clearing it out. Traction pulse still thrown out for good measure. Aurora, again, a small lead, but to what extent? That's the fly cloud!
Not the cloud!
The Mamba! A free kill for Aurora, another stack for Dominkite.
What is the count here for the Clouds? Taking players to their deaths.
The Cloud Prince watching from at home. Netsky knows He knows.
Oh man, I think even Chaknu was like, okay, maybe a little bit too far, and he tries to swing back, but now it's up to them to defend.
Demon Kite catches a brunt of that last insanity. Didn't expect for that much burst as he goes down. 3-mar scores. And now Aurora, they have to watch out. Down goes Bele. The ship from that Mount Shocker hits a good chunk of them. And they're happy with this, a 2-for-1 trade.
But TNC will do that to all defend and maintain the base turrets. They knew they were down a number. Chaknu was gone, so they had to do something. And they hold on to the base intact. That's what TNC wanted. They maintain that. They get there. They buy themselves some more time. Again, you're going to see them contest that Lord when it does come up. And so with that being said, you're going to look at some of these last items starting to come up. You have an immortality now too, so 3-mar, multiple lives now. Opening for the export. You've also got, again, Benny has gone with some more tankiness himself. He's got to be part of this equation to stop Aurora in their tracks.
Now the question, will Aurora fall for the same feint that TNC used to score the previous Lord? Lord number 2, TNC got it just via the threat of a full-on fight. Now Aurora have to think twice. They have to put their foot down and say, this is an actual fight. It's happening, and we know how to break your forward momentum down. Your assault will no longer work. At 18 minutes, 1,000 and change up, I'm worried for Aurora. Like, this might not actually be the best.
This might be hard. Look at Chaknu. Look at the angle he's going to go for here. He sees Dominkai and Demon Kai in sight. Lord's at half health. Light could be trapped into this rampart. They're going to fight.
Revitalize already used up. AOG out. Light has forced quite a bit out of TNC. And Aurora may have pulled a little feint of their own as TNC back out.
Oh, they have the stacks here at Dominkai too. You can see it. He's got 68 on the Sky Piercer. I don't think they can commit to this. Again, this is an Evolved Lord. This is a tough one for them to take. Yes, they got maybe an ultimate or 2 out earlier on from TNC, but TNC still holds on to those flickers. The battle spells are there, and that's the biggest surprise factor from them with this lineup. Benny will go ahead and pick up his own immortality. So now we're to the dance for this Lord. It's a massive one, potentially a game-winning one to get either of these teams to match point in this upper matchup here for the playoffs.
It's impressive, and it gives me goosebumps how much damage 3-mar deals. Forcing out a last sanity via a traction pulse. Suddenly a huge resource spent by TNC.
This might be a window for Aurora to go ahead and take. They know they can go ahead and zone out the rest of the team. Chaknu takes so much damage, already sitting at half health. They give space to Demon Kite to potentially take this Lord.
That's right.
What does TNC want to do?
Oh my God! That was a tech charge used up and wasted! TNC, this is not ideal. Down goes Zaida. In comes 3-mar via a flying cloud. Edward falls. Traded 2-for-1. Currently, this is a very good spot for TNC.
Oh!
They pop Lancy. 3-mar gets his Virago armor taken down, and Domin Kite taking names, rolling heads as they get the winning trade. 3-for-2, a Lord on their side, marching up top.
It started by getting rid of the last insanity. That was one threat gone that Aurora had to deal with, and then they were able to zone out Chaknu as well, putting him in a position to use the tech charge the way he didn't want to. So Aurora wins that fight, wins the objective, and now with an Evolved Lord, they're going to be approaching the base of TNC.
Joseph, Domin Kite is maxed out. 10-2-1. This is a carry Granger if I've ever seen one. The Lord crashes into the base as TNT have to defend with 3 members. Aurora, they're gonna have to take their time. This is not looking good. I don't think they should overextend.
They shouldn't overextend.
Take it easy, take it easy.
Oh, the waves are gonna push in here mid. Maybe they get mid and bottom turret. TNC will work on this Lord. They're gonna clear it out. Domin Kite, though, he's gonna work on that turret. Doesn't get it down just yet, though. So right now, TNC maintaining the 2 base turrets. It looks like they'll be fine. They clear out the Lord and they maintain those base turrets.
The drums of war have silenced themselves. I think Aurora knows that they should not egg their team on to force anything. We're gonna see one more Lord coming up in about a minute. Aurora, despite everything that's happened, every single heart-wrenching turnaround and clapback just led to a 3,000 gold lead. Last insanity onto Edward. 3-mar spends it. He does not have any mortality. Shadow kill, forcing them back. They're juggling all the damage between them, and this leads to a clean push. Aurora get rid of mid and bottom.
Hey, that was all to get the base turrets. Again, we were just saying how TNC defended those. They maintained them. But Aurora says, no, we need to get these down before the next Lord comes up. They did exactly by that with that traction pulse to go ahead and force it to happen. So they go for a reset for now. We'll see what items are going to be juggled around, but that Lord's coming up in 10, and Leo, this is going to be a tougher one than the previous. What is going to happen here? 3mar even picks up a winner crown now, and a Twilight armor here for Chaknu. They know that they can't lose that major resource for 3mar.
Nope.
They have to go ahead and get in position.
3mar's last insanity is almost just as important as a well-placed tech charge. Traction falls thrown out over at the X-Borg. No dice!
Wow.
As Aurora secure the Lord for free.
Oh, hold on. Conceal's going to be used.
The
Oh,
Mamba! Tech charge into nothing! And Demon Kai checks in. Final shadow. Aurora clean into the late game. 23 minutes in.
There's a Phoenix Flash. There's just a Phoenix. Hey. I don't know what
They burned out, dog. They burned out. It's two ways, right? They could go supernova and burnout hit max point.
Yeah.
Or they just
did that.
They just whittled themselves out.
At this point, this Lord, though, he's going to have the ultimate. He has it already back up. Do they pull something out here outside of the base? I feel like they're going to get sandwiched in, though. You can already see lights charging up. Unbreakable's there, but he's not going to be able to get it. Chaknu, though, up the front side. 3mar, 2.
Oh my God, the traction pulse forces TNC back, spending so many resources just to not die. And they still have to defend.
With the Lord here in tow, so healthy. Benny jumps in.
Shadow kill, gets in. Demon Kite puts them all so low. They're juggling. An immortality pop into the back line. Another one on Benny Cutie. Down he goes. 3mar gonna follow through. The base gonna be up next. Aurora are at match